going to go ahead and just show you this video. This guy, so that there is a link to it, but I'm going to show it to you. I'm not going to show you the video because that might flag for, but I'm going to show you where it is. Okay, so Joseph Russell. Okay. Probably one of his most famous videos. Okay, so he did a video that shows you how to, hold on, Joseph Russell CK tutorial. Okay, because it'll pop this one. Okay, so this one right here where you see that little thing, start making mods. Okay, that's the video you got to watch first. And what he does is he shows you how to move all the assets from this one particular folder into your data folder so that you can use all the textures. Okay, and so that is oh, well, I think he put the link to it, Jessica. He put the link to it there. It just goes right here to my Twitch. So, I mean, you can feel free if you know how to show a Twitch, if you can show my Twitch, then you can just, I'm not sure how to do that. I recognize your name from Twitter. Yep. Okay, thank you. So yeah, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to watch this first. You're going to download the CK. So the other day I had said, hey, can you put this up on there? So people really want to do this, that they can follow along. And of course, my VOD will be here and you can just watch this later, and I will probably cut this off and make a video of it. Okay, we're going to launch the CK. And just for time's sake, I had went ahead and pulled out something from my archive that is a personal mod that I use that is actually a player crate, and I'm going to basically give you a tour of that and show you some creation kit tricks. Okay, so here we are. So we're in the creation kit, okay? And the very first thing that you would do if you wanted to start your own mod, okay, is you would go up to File and click Save Plugin, and then give your plugin a name right here. And when you're giving your plugins a name, give them names that have something that can tell people that it's you, okay? And then also tell people what the mod is, okay? So let's say we're going to do for file name, and I want it to be something that I can find easy, right? So I always do SPP. That's what we call my little prefix, okay? And then underscore, and then I'll say player crate or personal crate or starter crate. Okay. So, and then when I save that, it's going to save it as an .esp file. And if you did any modding in Skyrim, that was the file that you would upload. Okay. But now in Starfield, we actually have .esm files. We only use .esp files for development. Okay. So like if I want to test my mod, I'm going to save it as an ESM, convert it, and then test that. And I only have ESP files. I only keep my ESP file in my data folder if I'm actively working on it. Okay. And so then what I would do, like if I'm done, and let's say I already gave my mod to Bethesda, it's already published, blah, blah, blah. What I do is I would literally take that file, that .esp file, and put it back in my archive. And then I would also, and this is actually a backup for me. So there you go. All right, good, Pedro. Okay, now I already have a file that I'm actively working on. That's a starter crate. So I'm not going to save this. I'm just going to hit cancel. Okay, but that's what you would do. You would give it a name, maybe like if you're Pedro, put Pedro underscore starter crate. And then super easy to find it again, right? Okay, this is my starter crate. This is what I wanted to find, right? Okay, so cancel. And you'll see as I have, grown as a developer and I know more stuff, you'll see that my naming conventions are a lot better than they used to be than my first mods. Okay, so now I had saved a file. I'm ready to go. So the first thing you have to do is click on this little folder. Okay, that's your little data folder, and you gotta click on Starfield. This is the master file. Okay, and then I'm gonna go down here to the bottom, and you see what I was telling you about my naming conventions. I have Sweetpea Plays _ Walter Crate 01. Okay, so I wanted to give my personal little crate. I love making the lore. It was a good chance for me to learn how to make a little slate and stuff, and so I went ahead and gave it that name. Okay, so Walter's Crate. So I'm going to double click on it, and it still says plugin file, so I'm going to set it as the active file, and so that means that's the one we're working on. Okay, and then you hit OK. And it's a smallish mod, so it's not gonna take a real long time to open. So yeah, Pedro, thank you so much. This has been just fantastic. Really, thank you for putting this work together, doing this work for us. One eternity later. Oh, well, we'll see. It's 5:02. We'll see how long it takes. It's one nice thing about having a 5080 computer. Doesn't take too bad. It's not too long. Now I'll tell you, Tailored Spaces takes a long time to open. It's a big mod at this point. This is all magic. So, well, and while we're doing this, let me show you around the kit a little bit. Okay. Oh, well, see. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. That's not so bad. Goodness. Okay. So this is like your render window. Okay. This is my cell view, and I also really like layers. Layers is like my favorite. It really helps. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with some of my works, but like those fireplaces, one of those fireplaces literally has 50 pieces to it. And so in layers, I can like make a fireplace layer and then just select everything at one time, and it makes it super easy. So layers are really good. Okay, this is my object window, and I like to work with 2 object windows so that I can do this. I'll show you. So anything that you work on anything that you've touched in your mod, okay, you can actually click this button here that says Show Edited Forms Only, and this will show all of the things that I touched in the game. They'll all show up right here. Okay, so that's like really great. Rename test Sweetpea Plays. Okay, so here is my little. Oh, I'll show you a couple of the fun things. Well, first, let me show you how to move around in the world, because this is like a really helpful thing. One of the things I like to do when I'm making stuff and messing with things is I will use this test cell. Okay. And I know you don't have to do that. I like to do it because I like to see like how things are going to look in the world. Like, so it's kind of hard to move around until you actually click on something in here. Ooh, I usually click on this little thing, and then you hold down the shift button. Okay. And then you can move your mouse around, and you can use WASD to like kind of move back and forth and stuff. Okay. If you are in a world space and you don't want to like touch anything, okay, you can actually look at this thing and hit D as in dog, and it will deselect. Okay, so you don't accidentally turn something or do something. So that's like a little trick right there. And the reason I like this particular room is it actually has a, oh, and you can use your, when I'm using the W, you can use your little scroll wheel on your mouse to, like, if you pull it back, it'll go really slow. If you push it forward, it'll go really fast. Okay, so that's really nice. That's a nice thing to figure out. Like if you want to get really close up to something and really look at it. Okay. This is what I really like about this particular room is this is a guy. So if I'm making something and I want to see how big it's going to be compared to a person, I can like look at this little guy. I can even duplicate him and move him over somewhere else to my work area so I can see he's like the proper size. Okay. There's also one of the other reasons why this is like one of my favorite ones, because my little fireplaces I made were kit bash. Like if you look at my one of my fireplaces, the black modern one, this on the bottom here, that's what this is made out of. So how do I not get 68 random nav mesh infos when I delete a keyword off a miscellaneous? Oh, I don't know. This, well, not this, that's not the guy, but this, ooh, that's actually what you call, wait, hold on. Oh, hold on. Pressing the wrong button. Yeah, these are what you call greebles. And here, I'm going to show you another really cool trick. Watch this. Okay. So if you want to, let's say you want to use this, but I don't want to like get rid of this in this area. So what I'll do is I'll do a Control D, and now I just duplicated it. Okay. Now here's another, these are like little tricks that I learned like way later. And I was kind of like, man, I wish I knew this right away. Okay. One thing I really like to do when I start working on something, hold on. First of all, I like to move it away from all these other things. Okay. All right. All right. So let's say I'm starting to work on something. You can, if you double click on this, it gives you like the data of how it is situated in the world. And I really like for this to be 0. So you can just make this 0. And then when you click in another box, it'll turn. So you know what 0 is. Oop. This is why it's nice to, you scroll back and it goes a lot slower and you can get really close to it. So that's nice. I like to 0 it. Okay. Another fun trick, like if something is in the air, well, if I want something to go up and down, what you would do is hold the Z axis, and you can use this little button, this little arrow, and you can pull it that way. Okay. Another cool one is if I do X, it's going to go this way. And you do C, and it goes the other way. Okay, so that's a nice thing. If you hold the right mouse button, you can turn it. But like I said, generally I really like to just use this because I just feel like math is easier than trying to do it the other way. Okay. Now another cool trick, let's say it's in the air and you're like, oh, I want it to be, I want it to be on the ground. You can hit F and it will automatically go to the first, the first collision point, which is nice. Like if you're trying to put something on a table or something. Okay. All right. So now we know how to move around the kit. Oh, here's another fun thing. You can actually hold the letter S for size, and you can move your mouse. Hold the left button, and you can like move it back and forth to size it the way you want. Okay, so that's another fun thing. All right. All right, so we're gonna cut that. Oh, I'm gonna show you one more cool thing. This is another really neat trick. All right, so let's say this isn't the exact Greeble I want. You can actually hold down the Alt button and scroll through, and it'll take you through the entire list. This is what I was talking about at the end of the video with King Gath. I thought you actually had to hold down the Alt button, but you didn't have to. But this is why I thought that maybe was doing something, because of this little trick. And it's pretty neat. I'll tell you, I have literally spent evenings just doing this just to see what was available. There's just all kinds of cool stuff. And there's even things that are like Easter eggs that you don't even really see in the game. Like, or very, very rarely see them. And you can just come across them in here and you're like, oh wow, this is so neat, you know. Okay. All right, cut. All right, so now we know how to look at other variations. We know how to move in the kit. So now we're gonna work on this little crate. Okay, so this test combat weapon crate. Okay, so that's what I used. If you wanted to find a container to use, okay, which you can just literally type in crate, and just make sure that at the bottom here that all is selected. Okay, and so this is the one that he, like, Jay Ramos is the one that gave me this idea to do it. This was like one of his very first videos that he did. And you can just, like, there you go. You got your little crate, right? And so that's the one he used. So if you guys want to write that down, the test combat crate, that's the one he used. And then you rename it. And I can even, like, if I wanted to, so and you can see how I renamed mine, Sweetpea Plays NG Crate 01. And that is not hard to do. If you double click on this here, you can just, right here at the ID, you just put your ID there. And then when it says, and then when you click OK, it'll ask you, do you want to make a new reference? And you say yes. Okay. So that's how you do that. All right. Now let's look at this crate. So what the thing is about the crates is you want to figure out what is it that I'm making this crate for? Okay. Now, my little Walter's crate, what I wanted was my preference, you know, for play is Vanilla Plus. So my mods are not going to give you every legendary weapon in the game, you know, that, you know, you didn't earn. You're just going to get them. That's not my play style. That's not something that I would make because it's not something I would use. But to me, you know how there's a line in the very beginning of the game where Walter says, you know, I want you to be resourceful, and all this kind of stuff. So my little headcanon is, yeah, of course he would make an outpost kit, and so that maybe they could make some money and pay for, make this a self-sustaining operation where we're looking for these artifacts, but we can go make outposts and get resources and save money, or sell those things and make money. That makes perfect sense to me. Yeah, Walter's Loot Crate. So this is what this is called. It was just, I haven't published it. I've had a couple people say you should publish it, but I haven't published it just because there's so many other, like, starting crates, but I don't know, maybe it is something that people would like. So what I put in here was I actually kind of went through and said, okay, what do you really have to make your first outpost? And, it's not a huge amount of stuff, like 10 beryllium. I actually went through and made a little spreadsheet and went through exactly how much it is that you need of certain things. So I figured that Walter would be like that, right? He's kind of a tightwad, right? He wants to, so he's not going to just give you like 5,000 aluminum. He's going to give you, oh, you need 60 aluminum? Well, I'm going to give you 60 aluminum. so, um, so that's what I did. All right, let's take a look at, so what you would do if you wanted to add something here, like let's say, well, what I really need is aluminum. Okay, well then what you would do is you just find a little empty spot, you right click and hit new. Okay. And then you can go through this object list and find something that you want to add. Okay. And here's all the different things. Now, here's a couple keywords. Like you can actually start typing in things. Like if like or RES would be resources, organic, ORG for organic. And if you just type in and if you want inorganic would be like things like you see here this keyword. So there's keywords that you can use to find things. Okay. I think I even put an outfit in there at one point. I'm not sure if that's still in there. So, but yeah, so you decide what it is that you feel like you really have to have. Okay. And I'm just going to cancel this because I don't want to change it. Give it a good name. This is an important thing. If it's not showing up in the world, make sure that you gave it a name. Things that don't have names will not show up in the world. So that's important. Okay. Let me take a look at these other things here. This keyword is fine. You can just leave that there. Yeah, everything looks good. Preview transform. You don't really have to worry about that for items that aren't going to be created. Like if I wanted to make this a constructible object where you can actually make this yourself, I would give it a preview transform. A preview transform is like how you see it. You know how when you open up your build menu and you have a chair and the chair shows up in front of you, that is the preview transform. That's what that is. And okay, so I'm going to cancel this because I don't want it to change. Okay. All right. So so we have our little thing. We renamed it. And then you got to figure out where in the world are you going to put it. Okay. There's a couple other things you can still do. Like you can actually, change the color of it. There's all that kind of stuff, but we don't have that kind of time. So I actually do have videos on YouTube that show you how to change, change the colors of things that you want to create in the world. Okay, I'm going to show you this little slate I made because I just thought that was fun. The slate, so, and if you just look up slate, let's see if that works. Okay, yeah, there you go. Outpost kit slate. So test data slate, this is it, and then you can grab that and rename it and put it in the game. Yeah, so I did a couple slates. So so then you figure out okay, I want to make this sound realistic, something Walter would say. So I was like, all right, per our conversation, I've taken the liberty of creating this outpost kit to aid in our next endeavor. The scans from the eye are very promising, and some of the items are UC surplus, sure, but they will still do the job admirably. Okay, wait a minute. And this is where you want to check things and make sure the eye. This is a name. I want to make sure it looks good. Okay, the scans from the eye are very promising. Some of the items are UC surplus. Let's make that capital S. Sure, but they will still do the job admirably. An outpost with mineral resources is always a good investment and has the potential to make our search for the artifacts a self-sustaining venture. Heller was very helpful in finding Constellation some bargains on his trip home to New Homestead. Be sure to give him my thanks. Credits for the cost have already been transferred to his Galbank account. Maybe I was wrong about Argos extractors after all, Walter. P.S. Heller told me he would leave the crate by the landing pad. So, so there you go. So I also told them where it's going to be. So, you want to do that and hit OK. Galbank. We're just going to add that word to it. And add. Okay. Hit OK. Let's take a look at it. Okay. All right, so anytime you make a big change and you want to keep it, you're going to want to save your plugin. And then you're also going to want to convert it to a small master. So you're actually making like a new version because I actually changed something. Okay. So, all right. I did actually make a quest with this too, but that is probably outside the scope of of what we're doing right now. So let's take a look. So now the next thing you're going to do is figure out where in the name of glory you want to put this thing, right? So I actually did this like outside, and it's actually one of the very first things. I might have to. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is it. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at where this is. Okay, so you see all this and it looks just like a bunch of big blocks of color. You can hit M as in Mary. Well, first let me get in there. Because you can't even really tell where you're at, right? Okay, so this isn't it. Okay. Oh, and remember how I said you don't want to leave things clicked. So we're going to hit D as in dog, get rid of that. So this is not the right one. Let's see. I think it's, I think this might be it. Maybe. I have to remember. Someone Google that for me. Oh, and if it's dark and you can't tell what's going on, just click on this. And then remember, hit D to get rid of that. This it? No. Crete. No. Hmm. I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, and K World. Hmm. There's a lot of worlds. Like people who are like, there's only like 5 POIs in the whole. Look at this list, guys. Look at this list. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here. All right, it's something like opening world kind of thing. Count. Yeah, there's at least 6. That's funny. Okay, well, do you need to own Starfield to run CK? Yes, you do. Yep. I mean, because you can't test it. You can't test it if you don't own it. Let's see. See, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't expect to have to do this. So let me just show you basically what you would do. And then I will show you where it actually is. I mean, because this might take all day. So we'll just do this. Okay, the spaceport. Okay, so oop, okay, there we go. All right, so we get to the spaceport. We decide. Oh, I think I went up through the world. Okay, so you figure out where you want it to go. Like especially maybe you like doing SKK and you always want to start here, So find some little out of the way place. And what's nice, go ahead and hit M so you can see what the markers are. Let's see. And it's not showing me the markers. Let me look at where show hide is. Okay, let me click on markers. And it's going to be a riot of markers. Okay, so make sure you look at where the markers are, because you don't want to put it right where some dude always stands, right? Okay, so and some of these places are like really a riot of markers. So you definitely want to take a look. Okay, so we're going down here. Let's see, this is where you park, right? So we'll see. We don't want anywhere where anyone's going to stand. So we could, like, okay, so there's no markers right there. There's no guy standing there. So you can just take your little sweet peas crate, okay, and you can just stick it there. That's the back. That's the front. That's kind of nice. Okay. And then you would go ahead and save it, and then go ahead and, put it there. Okay. So I don't want to ruin my mod, so I'm going to take this out. But then if this is where you wanted it, then you would save and you would make your, remake your ESM. Okay. So I'm going to cut this. Okay. So I already had saved it. So let's go ahead and try it out. I will tell you guys, what's funny is one thing I noticed about kids today. So I'm a retired art teacher. I taught computers and I taught art. Okay. And one of the things I always told kids is you have to test it. Test your stuff. Like, because we're taking computer class, test. And they're like, but I'm not done. And I'm like, no, that's not, you don't test when you're done. You test after every step. So you know that you're in the right way. You're doing it the right way. But what I've discovered is that today so many kids today are so afraid to fail that they no, I'll just leave it alone. Okay. So I think I already did that anyway. So I don't want to save anything else because I think I touched something. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and test it. So you want to test things. Don't be afraid to test. If it's a total disaster, you can literally just like in your data folder, just right click on it and get rid of it and it's fine. Your game is fine. So YOLO into the CK and then go to the store. Wait, test each time. I just wait. Explains a few things. No, I test like, oh my gosh. Like every single, like, and I actually have made it a practice where I, like when I'm making icons and all that kind of stuff, I do everything. I make the item, I do the transform, I make the icon, and so every item that I make in my mod is completely done before I test, and then I test it. And then I start the next thing. So that's Cyber Ghost. Man, I've had students like you, Cyber Ghost. My class. I mean, I'm just as bad though. Okay. And what's funny is I already did this wrong because alright, it's probably not gonna be there anyway. Well, yeah, that's exactly right, Baz. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the right place, and then I'm gonna... Oh, actually, you don't really want to be in the... Let me quit. Alright, I'm gonna save. Wait, I'm at least gonna go in my ship. Okay. Because you're gonna have to like enable the ESM and make sure the ESP is disabled. Okay, so save here. Okay, and quit. Okay, so I'm gonna, all right, so I'm gonna go back in and go in the store. So a million backups, yeah. Oh, me too. Yeah, I have backups. I had like a couple different backups for this one, which I'm actually gonna have to go and, you know, like replace because I changed those spelling things, the capitalizations. All right, so I got to go in creations. Okay. Wait, you have to wait until it's loaded. What's funny, I think this takes longer to load than CK does. Okay, so go to your load order, and you'll notice that your ESPs are going to be always at the bottom. Yeah, it was probably Taylor Space's Grimnir. I'm just kidding. Okay. Okay, so... And Walter's crate can be at the bottom, that's fine. Make sure this is not... You don't want both of these to be green, okay? Make sure when you're testing, you always test the ESM, not the ESP. This is just for working on in the kit, okay? Now, another important thing, after you do this, back all the way out and quit to desktop, all the way. Don't just continue right here, you gotta quit, because you want it to reload properly. Oh, you already have that one. Oh, good. Thank you. I think I'm gonna put daily grind on Nexus. I was gonna put some of my, I kind of went back and decided that anything that I've released for free is never going to be released achievement friendly. I might do something similar to it and better and do it achievement friendly, but I'm not gonna release it achievement friendly if it's already released. Most of those things that I did release like that were things I was just kind of experimenting with. They're little mods. They didn't take me a long time, and I just don't feel right charging money for them. So, but I figured, well, I'll put them on Nexus, you know. people can get them there too. Yeah, Xbox is tricky, LaForge, because it has this little thing where it says, if it says, you know, fast play, like, or you know, what is it? Like, you know, come back quickly kind of thing. I can't remember what's the word. If it says that, you didn't quit all the way. You have to like go through all this, you know. So, okay. That's a good idea, Will. It's a good idea. This is a character I made that looks just like... This was the original Captain Danger. And what's funny is it looks just like my nephew. Quick resume. That's right, J-Doug. Thank you. Yeah, if you see quick resume, and I don't play on Xbox very much unless I'm testing, so thank you for that. Words are hard. I need more coffee.
Liftoff initiated, Captain. Time to venture into that beautiful sky. Stable orbit achieved.
Right. I never had 700 mods. That's not me.
Well,
I've had 200.
anyway.
I've never had more than like 250 mods. So, and I use a lot of skins and clothes and stuff like that. So that's, I mean, that's a lot of it. Okay. All right, Narian. Here's the, like, you know, it doesn't like crash when you land. That's always a good thing. Sorry, you knew it was a lot. Well, I know people who run like 500 mods for sure. So, aha, there's our crate. So, okay. So here's our little thing. One thing I did do was I put a digipic here, and what's funny is Lazy Scav picked it up. So you can't see that it was there. But I realized, oh, when you come here, you don't really have a lot of digipics. So I put a digipic there. So think about those things. Like, okay, I'm absolutely broke now. Maybe I'll put a cred stick there. Or you know, those kind of things. And let's see if this picked up my... Yep. All right. So I got all my capitalizations the way they're supposed to be. Okay. Oh, and I made a quest. So when you step right here, there's a little quest that starts that says Walter's loot crate, and go read the slate, and you know, it tells you that. So there you go. I mostly made this not really for New Game. Mostly I made this for New Game Plus. That was why I made it. Okay, I'm just gonna auto pick it. All right, so there you go. So I got Calamite. Okay, I add Calamite to it very because I started using Betamax's Starborn stuff, and you need Calamite to make a lot of the stuff. So I put like 10 of them in there to get you started on making cosmetic, or you know, that kind of stuff. Zero wire, you need a lot of that. It does give you a random amount of a few of these, so you might get a bunch of a few of the things. But this is, like I said, this is what I consider a vanilla plus, you know, item. It's not, it's literally so you can start the game, go to Anderfon, make your first base, get everything going, and then go pick up Sarah, and then do all your quests, and then by the time you get back, you'll have a good start on stuff, you know. So, all right. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions? Okay. Yeah, can you do it again? Well, that's what's so lovely. You can go watch my VOD. Just wait until I turn the ads up again. I turned the ads down like for what, one ad every 30 seconds per hour or something, so people didn't have to watch ads. So anyway, all right, everybody, you know, it's so sweet of you to come in here and watch this little last thing. You know, I really appreciate you guys. This has just been wonderful. Thank you so much, Pedro, for doing this. And Jessica Starr, thank you so much. And Jay, you guys are the best, really. I know, right? So did you guys learn something from me doing that? At least learning how to go around the kit a little bit. And I do actually have I'll show you. I do actually have save. Okay. Live at a hotel so next time so we can drink. That's funny. Yeah, I'm for the beach. Let's do it at the beach, heck. Yes, but you'll never make a mod. That's funny. Oh, let me show you something real quick. Okay. So if you want to know more about how to make mods, okay? That's this poor little couple I'm following. They're like so precious. I was following them, like trying different Italian food. He's actually from Italy, and they would like go to Olive Garden and do something. But she's pregnant and on bed rest, and it's just like so tough. I've been like praying for them. Okay. Oh, I'm just gonna show my channel. I'm such a squirrel. I apologize. Okay, so I have a couple of playlists on YouTube, and I will chop this day up a good bit. I'm not going to bother, posting people that I already know, or they're going to post it on their channel, but the things that probably won't get posted. So I have a couple of playlists to help you, find exactly what you're looking for. I actually do have some tutorials. What is the what? I just want to look at it. I don't want to listen to it. Okay. Like how to find the secret Sidonia snow globe, and how to do the codex machine, and just how to use Betamax's. This is kind of a cool one. I figured out Betamax has these wonderful little two-step placement like plates, like catwalk plates, and you can make your steps snap to them. And so you can make steps go to things that are not Betamax's stuff. And so I showed you how to do that. So there's these kind of things. I have all my VC showcase. You guys, I have 22 of these now.
Yeah, and then there seems to be
Can you believe that? 22. That was when I saw that the other day, I was like, wow, 22. What I like about this is you kind of see the mod through the eyes of the person that made it. And like, it's crazy. Like Mad Rocks, oh my gosh, he's like, oh yeah, there's a secret door in there. I'm like, what do you mean there's a secret door? and he opens it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've had this for 6 months and I didn't even know it was there. So I mean, yeah, that's kind of neat. And let's see, some of my but I do have creation kit tutorials. And I'm going to do more of these. And I'm trying to make them short so that people can learn how to do very specific things quickly instead of having to watch a 2-hour video. So that's what I want to work on that more in the summer. So, and I was a school teacher, so that's kind of something I'm good at, So anyway. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. This has been great. This was a great StarCon. Let's do it next year. Let's do it again, right? So, all right. Take care, everyone.